So now we go live to the television theatre to meet the midweek guests of Wogan.
Welcome. And a lively audience in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you. Now, you might have seen this picture in the papers last week. It's a wonderful picture of little Carl Smith at the age of 8 months, seeing something for the first time in his life. Now, the little fellow was born blind, but an amazing operation has given him sight. And we thought you'd like to hear more about this miraculous tale. So welcome Carl's parents, Phil and Evelyn Smith, and little Carl himself. I think it's only fitting that we should give Carl a sort of memento of the occasion. You'll treasure for the rest of your life, won't you, Carl? Good man. Good man. That'll last about 10 seconds. So, how did you know when Carl could see for the first time?
It was the following day after his operation that we went up there and the doctors were sort of examining him and he was grabbing for all their lights and toys and looking around at things.
He's got a great temperament, hasn't he? He's not easily upset.
No, he isn't.
How long is it since the operation?
2 weeks.
Yeah. And what sort of a difference has it made to your life?
It's made a tremendous difference.
Yeah. And sort of a difference do you think it's made to his? I mean, he's obviously looking around and can see everything.
Well, yes, he can see things.
I can't quite make out whether that's an expression of disgust or pleasure. I'd be quite pleased with the rattle. You knew that there might be a problem with Carl's sight before he was born, did you?
That's right.
Yeah. Why so? So, that's what you think of me present, is it? I'll hold on to it, because we don't want to put a face falling on the dirty carpet. So, how did you know there'd be problems with Carl's sight?
Well, because of, it is an inheritance on Phil's side.
Yeah.
And, we naturally thought that there will be a problem. Even before Carl was born, we discussed this.
And when he was born totally blind?
Yes, that's right.
And it wasn't the only problem either, was it?
No, Carl also had toxoplasmosis, which is a parasite of the blood.
Yeah.
It's caused through handling raw meat, vegetables and fish. Yeah. He's had brain scans, liver and kidney scans.
He's had a tough time so far. And how old is he?
He's 8 months old.
Well, I hope he'll enjoy better health from now on. And you had the same problem, obviously, when you were born. Well, you weren't born blind, but you were born with a defect, a sight defect.
That's right.
Yeah. So how did that affect your life?
Tremendously, really. Having the gift of sight is fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially more so for Carl.
Yeah. So he'll be able to did you find that it held you back in your education and all the rest of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Carl, you're hoping for a full and a happy and a healthy life. And
yes.
I'm sure you'll enjoy that as well. Will you? Hang on, he's throwing everything now. There goes the soother. I could do with one of those myself from time to time. Look, he can certainly chew a soother, I'll give him that.
That is the way they're made.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh. Well, it's a long time since I handled a baby. Yeah. Thank you both for joining us and showing us little Carl, because he's a wonderful little fella. And despite the fact that he throws things around, we'll have him back in about 20 years. Is that all right?
Yes.
We'll ask him how he's getting on. And I hope you look after that, will you? And make sure he gets them. Give him a clean before he puts them in his mouth again. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
nice
you,
to see you.
Terry.
Thanks so much.
That's Evelyn and Phil Smith, and of course Carl. Now later I'm going to be talking to Greta Scacchi, to Agnetha Fältskog. Was that for my pronunciation? Agnetha Fältskog. That's the blonde person. And she'll be singing for us as well. And I'm going... Same to you. And I'm going to be wishing bon voyage to two of Britain's brightest medal hopes as they set off for the Winter Olympics in Calgary in Canada. But first, we'll meet the man they call Mr. Ski. He's also been called Mr. It's a Knockout, Mr. World Snooker, Mr. Miss World, and other names that we won't mention here. He's the man who'll make the Olympics a month of ski Sundays, skate Sundays, and even six-man bobsleigh Sundays. Welcome, the man with the best job on television, David Vine. Thank you. It has to be said. That's the biggest round of applause anybody's ever gotten this show. This is some popular show, Ski Sunday. There's a lot of skiers out there. Everybody envies you your job. Must be the cushiest job out there on the slope. The rest of us are in a miserable winter, being rained and sleeted on, and you're out there in the sunshine and on the slopes. Wonderful.
I put a call through to Calgary just before I came here tonight. Yeah. The temperature at the moment is -26.
There's no use looking to us for sympathy.
Have you got any spare long johns?
You will be well togged out by the BBC, who spend no expense.
Of course. Yes, they give you a fiver every 4 years for that.
And I tell you, yeah, provide your own gear.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Now,
the suit's looking good, doesn't it?
Well, I can't say the same for me only. Yours is okay. This has gone through a few sessions. Do you
And programs.
And programs. You hang around with Europe's jet set a great deal, I imagine, don't you? I mean, St. Moritz, Gstaad, eh? No.
Well, the jet set do exist on the ski slopes. I can tell you that these days the British are out there in force, and it was only a couple of weeks ago, a fellow walked up to me in a donkey jacket, seriously, a donkey jacket and wellies, and he said, "Here, how's that fella Stenmark going?" he said, "this season." And I said, "What do you know about Stenmark? He's some obscure Swedish skier." "I've got him on my chart," he said. "I know how many points he's got." And I thought, let's have a look at your chart. It sounds like a better reference than we've got to the fellas. But the jet set is there, yes, but it's not all jet set.
Yeah, but there's lots more people going from this country to ski.
Tremendous.
But a lot of it is due to Ski Sunday, isn't it? I mean,
very much so. We're pleased to say, as Jonathan Martin, the head of BBC Sports, said the other day, we don't blow our trumpet quite enough. Ski Sunday now attracts more viewers than all the hype of American football. Quite honestly, we'd attract a lot more if the planners, God bless them, didn't decide to put us up against the Antiques Roadshow on BBC1, the two most popular programmes.
You'd prefer to be like American football up against religion, would you?
Definitely.
I see.
Yes, because we pray a bit on our programme, I can tell you.
Well, you need to if you... Well, not I suppose you do as the commentator, because you are out there. Because somebody said to me, I bet that David Vine, they don't send him out there. He does everything from a little studio.
That's the Canadians. I can tell you now, a couple of years ago, the Canadians used to sit in a studio in Vancouver with the big anoraks on and the backdrop behind, and 2 seconds before the program, the fellows used to come in and spray the snow over the shoulders. And they'd say, "Here we are this afternoon here in so-and-so, so-and-so." And they'd never move from the studio.
But
we do
there.
actually go.
Yeah.
We're there all the time.
And do you ski yourself?
Oh, regularly. In fact, I am going to ski the day that Harry Carpenter fights Frank Bruno, and one of the critics on the Antiques Roadshow, like David Mason, paints a masterpiece.
You know nothing, do you? Do you know anything about this skiing?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're making it up.
I get away with it like you do.
All that stuff about luges and pistes and everything. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing about it at all.
See?
No.
But it's a great life. Don't tell me it's not great fun.
It's tremendous
fun.
Don't
destroy it.
It's tremendous fun. And let's be serious for one moment, if we could be.
Go on then.
No, I quite often say that was a rubbish performance by a skier. Let's put it into perspective. We're talking about, say, somebody in the top 30 in the world. There are millions and millions of skiers. There are millions of Swiss, millions of Austrians who'll all be there. And if a guy is 30th in the world or 40th in the world, he's fantastic. He's coming down a mountain 2¼ miles long in less than 2 minutes at 80 miles an hour. He's going to break his neck every 100th of a second. And if he loses out by about a tenth, I say, rubbish, rubbish. Didn't do well today, did he? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's killing him.
And you can't ski to save your life?
No, of course I can't.
Yeah,
of course I can't.
Great. But look, hang on a minute. I know you won't go, because I want to have a look at some serious downhill racing.
Now, come on. Skied this part well on every training run. 59.28, this is good. 57, 58, won't win it. 8th place, that's better. Only 1.5 seconds off the pace. That's the performance we're looking for. That's much better, but I think he wanted a little bit more. But in comes Graham.
Well, there he goes. And that's the man who carries all our hopes, oh, perhaps both of them, for a skiing medal at Calgary. In action last weekend at Schladming. Schladming, eh? Yes. Please welcome, with his brother Graham, who we've just seen, no mean skier himself, Martin Bell. Are they going to make you wear those blazers?
I think they're sending us back to school or something.
That's the thing. I mean, do you enjoy it? All getting dressed in the same thing. It's an extraordinary thing they do. They make everybody get in the same trousers and the same... You haven't got matching socks, I'm glad to see.
We have to retain some individuality.
There, yeah. Quite. Well, Britain's best hope, Martin, that's what they're calling you.
Well,
for a gold medal.
Careful.
Well, I know Graham came in the top 10 a week or so ago as well. So we'll say you're both Britain's best hopes for a gold medal. I mean, what do you think of that?
Well, the chance is there, which I wouldn't have said in 1984, 4 years ago, so I must be getting somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, going to be very nerve-wracking, in fact. Now that I know I'm in with a chance, standing at the top of that mountain, you have 2 minutes, which basically decides the rest of your career. And if you make a mistake during those 2 minutes, it's a bit tough.
Yeah. The pair of you, just reading your biographies, there isn't much of you, the real you left, is there, by the time you've done this skiing? I mean, there's bits of you all over mountains, all over Austria and Switzerland.
Bits of us in jars in various surgeries.
I mean, how many injuries have you had? I think Graham's had more, has he?
Bionic knee, bionic knee under here.
Yeah.
I tore my cruciate ligament and I had to have a replacement. I busted my nose.
Polyester, wasn't it, I think?
Broken collarbone. He's had a dislocated elbow, broken knee as well. So, I mean, we've totted up quite a few injuries over the time.
Yeah.
But not too much in recent years.
Touch wood.
He had one of his worst accidents falling down a builder's pit outside the university, where he was in Austria without even skiing at all.
You keep destroying the glamour of the event. For God's sake. Was there tremendous rivalry between the pair of you? As you grew up, was there rivalry between you?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think the ideal of having 2 brothers on the team is it's like a team within a team. It means that we can help each other and compete against each other.
But brothers don't usually do that, do they? They don't help each other a great deal, is it?
Well, it's strange, the rivalry is like off the slopes. Skiing we don't argue about, but if there's not enough food at the hotel we're staying at, well... And the last argument we had was literally about a trivial thing, Trivial Pursuit, when Graham cheated.
Oh, I won, so I cheated.
So tell me, are the British the poor relations of the skiing game?
Well, we're getting there. I mean, with sponsorship from Drambuie and the Sports Council and generally a more sort of professional approach to the thing, we actually are able to spend 10 months of the year in the Alps, which we get a bit homesick, but we have to be out there. We have to be out there.
It is tough, yeah. What's going through your head as you whiz down this mountain, as David was describing, at enormous speeds? Do you even have time to think, or is it just instinctive reactions all the time?
You get these, sometimes you get a flat bit, and
It's like that.
sometimes you get a flatter bit, and you think, oh, I'm skiing it well now, don't blow it, or you think, I've really made a cock up of that, so I'm going to have to do something even better on the bottom of the course to make up the time.
Or you think of David in the commentary box going, come on, Martin.
What could be done?
Rubbish again.
What could be done to make us move up the charts from 8 and 10 up to the top 3?
Well, I think it starts with the kids, and you have to start skiing when you're really young if you want to be a racer. I was 6 when I started, he was 5 when he started. And I think we need more ski resorts in this country, in Scotland or in the Welsh mountains perhaps. And there are some already in Scotland, and we just need more.
The thing that strikes me about the Winter Olympics now, the Olympic Games encompass everybody. But you're not going to get too many third world countries taking part in the Winter Olympics. You're not going to get too many competitors from Africa. Is it genuine, really?
Last year we had, 4 years ago we had a race from Cyprus.
Well, they've got a mountain in Cyprus, haven't they? Mount Olympus with a bit of snow on it.
Yeah.
There's one from Egypt who had done his training by fasting in a cave in the desert for a month to just sort of harden himself up.
Yeah.
Artificial snow on the pyramids and came
That's
down
what I was going to say, yes.
Trouble was he only had the one pair of skis for each discipline, which isn't quite so good.
Yeah. It's very important, the skis, the waxing. You're always talking about the wax.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the grinding of a ski in the best possible way, the base of the ski, which he will talk to you about for 2 hours. And I said to him the other day,
Got to educate him.
there's a, of course, but there's a big store at the moment. These two fellas have got one super pair of rocket skis. Graham used them, got 10th place. The argument was solved when Graham got injured, so Martin could have them. Martin says the argument's solved in any case because he's the best, so he has the best skis. And I said, why can't you get another pair? I mean, there are millions of pairs of skis. Why can't you just make another pair that go like that? And he'll tell you why.
Well, I mean, the skis are just totally different. No two pairs are the same as each other. And, you know, the manufacturers, such as Fisher, make a whole lot of skis, test them by going up and down on this straight track. That's probably the most boring job in ski racing, in fact, the testers who have to do this day in, day out. And they pick out the fastest ones from this electronic timing track that they have set up. And they give the best skis to the best racers, which makes it doubly hard for youngsters to kind of break into the top ranks because they don't get given the best skis. But I think we're getting some good ones now, as David
But to put
said.
into perspective what these two fellas are doing, being lowlanders from Great Britain taking on the Austrians and the Swiss, it's like Iceland beating the West Indies at cricket. I mean, they're tremendous. To get 10th place in a World Cup race, he's had top 10 placings. I mean, it's a tremendous achievement.
Particularly with somebody like you saying, oh, gosh, he's only 10th.
Rubbish, yes.
Yeah. What about ski? I remember when I were a lad, people used to go skiing, and particularly young ladies used to go on the off chance of getting off with the ski instructor. The ski instructor was always the glamorous one. Wait, do you have many groupies for the skiing?
Yeah, but the trouble is we have to go to bed early, so our coaches get most of them.
I see.
You used to see the coaches.
And the commentators, in fact.
And the commentator.
Hang on.
And the commentator.
We are working in the hotel
I'm
rooms
sorry.
every night doing 120 record cards, burning the midnight oil.
I'm sorry.
No, we actually leave all that to the cameraman.
It's
the cameraman who gets
I think you just protest too much. But I'm delighted to see you. We obviously all wish you well in Calgary.
Thank you.
And let's hope you can bring back a medal. One would do between the two of you.
If we do, you'll have to invite us back, of course.
Certainly. we want to see the medal anyway. So thanks
Thank you.
to the Bell Brothers
Yeah.
and to David Byrne. Thank you. Now, some film actresses seem to come up through the ranks. Others burst upon the screen as ready-made stars. This was certainly the case with my next guest in films like Heat and Dust, Coca-Cola Kid, acting alongside Lord Olivier in Ebony Tower. And this week I saw a preview of her latest, White Mischief, and very steamy stuff it is. But we found this more savoury little scene for you, so you wouldn't be upset.
Jock, good Lord. Do excuse me. Come and meet my wife.
Catch up with me later, all right?
Diana, I want you to meet one of the most amusing men in Africa, Joss Harrell.
How do you do?
Welcome to paradise.
May I take your photograph?
Well, of course, but whatever for?
Jacques insists I photograph anything that takes my fancy.
Ladies, a star. Welcome, Greta Scacchi. Another glass of wine. That's the best applauding audience I think we've ever had. Can you come back on Friday and Monday and Wednesday? Yeah. Are you sure that was you?
That before?
Yeah.
No.
Because
No, that wasn't me.
it didn't look like, yeah. Completely different.
Oh, the hair, you mean?
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Well, no, the red lipstick.
Everything.
Yeah, but no, not everything. I can't speak for the rest of you. I mean, all I could tell is the face. Tell us what White Mischief is about, anyway.
Well, it's, in short, it's a dead, sordid, upper-class mystery.
Thanks a lot. That's what's called a précis of the plot. Now,
Yes, well,
The heroine, hardly the heroine, the villainess. You play Lady Diana Broughton.
I don't know. I think she's very nice, really.
Yeah.
You can't help but getting fond of a character that you play for 11 weeks. You know, that's the thing. You have to find sympathy with the character that you play, and for all her faults, I ended up really liking her.
Well, this was a woman who had an affair with a bit of a rapscallion. Her husband then murders the aforesaid rapscallion. Then she marries somebody else enormously wealthy.
The whole story.
And then she marries somebody else enormously wealthy. But she wasn't a paragon of virtue.
I'm sure she was really in love with them all. I mean, yes, it's true they happened to be richer and more titled as she went from one husband to the other, and she had 4 of them, and she ended up being the richest woman in Kenya. But yeah. I'm sure she loved them all.
Yeah. And you actually liked her, did you?
Well,
the character.
It's true that my priorities in life are different.
You got that in quickly, in case that stunts the next question, you see.
I'm not that interested in diamonds and pearls, which seem to be her main goal in life, but I admire her determination, you know. She was a woman who decided what she wanted, and she went out and got it.
She was alive while the shooting, she was still alive while the shooting of the film was going on. Did you actually get to meet her?
No, unfortunately. Nearly. James Fox, the writer of the book, and it's all based on fact. It's all true. All the scenes that we have in the film, they're based on witness accounts. So if the accounts are true, then what we've done is a true story, though there are moments where we've interpreted because we've explored what we imagine the psychology was behind the people. But it's all based on this book, White Mischief, by James Fox. And he remained very good friends with Diana. And he arranged a lunch. We were all going to go and have lunch with her, but at the last minute she cancelled it. And I thought that I'd meet her when she came to England. She always came over for the races every year. She wouldn't miss Ascot. But she died in September this year, and it happened to be the day that the film was finished. Now,
we see quite a lot of you in the film. I mean, is it necessary? No, I don't mean that in I didn't actually mean that in a smutty way. I mean, we do. Do you think it's increasingly necessary now, in terms of reality, for actresses to play love scenes in the nude?
Well, I think I'm very careful about what I choose to do. I really scrutinize scripts, and often I've made my agent furious because I've turned things down which he thinks I really ought to do as a career move, but I think there's something in the ingredients that I don't like. There's something that goes against my morality, and maybe I'm wrong, but for my morality, I don't think that nudity is obscene. I don't think it's immoral. I think that, of course, it's difficult when it comes to play nude scenes. You have to feel, I always judge them very carefully, and I have to feel that they're necessary. I wouldn't like to do anything gratuitous. But I think in this story, it is an interesting story, and it's not a story where we can afford to be prudish.
Do you like what you see? I mean, this is the thing that, I mean, obviously my figure isn't in the same class as yours, but when you actually see, are you pleased with what you see? Do you like looking at yourself in film?
I've never liked anything that I've done. I have to admit, when I come to see a film that I've finished, I'm always disappointed because it's never as you imagined. It's like you read a good book, and so you imagine you have images, and then when you see it in the flesh, then it's never quite the image that you had. It's never the vision that you dreamed of. So that's why I'm looking forward to doing some theatre work, because there, in the theatre, it's a sacred space for actors. You know you're in control, you know you're responsible for measuring your performance, and what you do is what's going to come across. So you're in charge of that, and there's no one who's going to come and fiddle with it or change it or take it in a different direction.
Yes, I suppose the editing can change a picture completely.
Too often it happens, and you can see why directors have to do it. You can see why they have to make something shorter, condense something, or they have to cut something altogether, or put things in a different order. But it's very upsetting when you've structured your performance and you've measured it, and it turns out differently to how you'd expected.
Do you get recognised in the street then?
Well, I didn't, not often, until I went and had my hair cut. And the idea was a disguise. I thought that by chopping my hair off, no one would know who I was, but somehow people recognised me more.
Yeah. And Scacchi, that's not a very British name.
Italian.
Yeah.
My father's
Your father's
Italian.
an Italian.
My mother's English.
And the acting, how did you get into the acting? I mean, you suddenly appeared and you were almost a star before you started.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember exactly how it was that it came about, but I wanted to act from a very early age. You know, when everyone at school the girls were saying they wanted to be nurses or air hostesses or princesses, I wanted to be an actress from when I was about 8, from when I first heard the word, before I knew what it meant.
So you're going to go back now to the theatre and try and get a little obscurity.
Yes, I'm doing a play.
Yeah.
Don't know about obscurity. It's a big challenge for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing a play that starts in May with some wonderful actors, a fantastic cast. We're doing Uncle Vanya in the West End, and I've always dreamed of doing Chekhov, so it really means a lot to me.
Oh, we wish you luck with it. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Greta Scacchi. Now, finally tonight, a lady I first saw in Brighton in 1974, when she was one of 4 young songbirds about to meet their Waterloo. Some Waterloo. As ABBA, they gave the world hit after hit and became a bigger Swedish export than Volvo cars. And people didn't keep shouting at them,
Do you know your lights are on?
now back as a solo artiste with a new, a new single called The Last Time. It's a special pleasure to welcome Agnetha Fältskog.
It's not too much to
Welcome. Nice to see you.
That was just my earring.
Oh, I see, just the earring.
That happens to me all the time, actually.
The baby threw away the rattle and the soother. You've thrown the earring away.
Well,
yeah.
We can look at it.
We might pick up some jewellery as we go through. Anyway, obviously, there's a terrific residue of goodwill for you.
Yeah.
We've had so many.
Makes me very happy.
Of course. You obviously still want to put yourself through the rigmarole of pop music.
Yes, well, it just happens, you know. It's hard to get away from it.
Of course, but it may be a naive question, but with all the success, the enormous money that ABBA made and all the rest of it, one would have imagined that you would have bought yourself the little house on the fjord and just
well,
retired.
I have.
Well, you have.
Yeah, but anyway, it hasn't got to do with the money. Because if you have something inside, well, it's there, and it's nice to do something. And when a challenge comes up, it's nice to do it, I think.
You recorded this record and indeed the album in L.A.
Yes, I was there for
Why did you
5
do
weeks.
it there?
Because Peter Cetera and the co-producer Bruce Gage wanted to do it there because they were used to the studios and the musicians, and so it was better.
You always said, I think I remember when you were with ABBA, that you never wanted to be away from your children for longer than 2 weeks.
No.
And yet have you made a record with your children?
Yes, I have. In the meantime, I did a Christmas album together with my daughter. That was a long time ago. And then I did an album with children's songs with my son.
In Swedish?
Last year. In Swedish. All in Swedish, yeah.
We love Swedish here. 'Cause you don't, yeah, we do, yeah. We love Sweden. But, I mean, yeah, quite. But,
Yeah, can you talk in Swedish?
certainly, but you couldn't give us a little... Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
What did that woman say?
I love you.
Oh, did
We
she?
love you.
We love you. Yeah. You give us a little song in Swedish, would you? One of those
song?
One of those little ones that you sang, the Christmas songs with your son.
A Christmas song. Wow.
Oh.
I don't know which one I'm going to take. It's hard to decide. I have maybe a folk song.
A folk song? Give us a little burst of a Swedish folk song.
Vem kan segla förutan vind? Vem kan ro utan åror? Vem kan skiljas från vännen sin utan att fälla tårar?
No, I love people who can come on and do things like that without
Yeah.
being told that they're going to do it. They just go and do it. We wish you continued success. We wanted to actually surprise you with looking back, as it were. I was there in '74 when you won the Eurovision Song Contest with ABBA,
Yes.
with probably the best ever Eurovision song. So we wanted to bring the memories back for everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
Back in '74. Well, that appears to be it for tonight. At least they're playing the signature tune. We'll see you on Friday at 7 o'clock. My thanks to Greta Scacchi and to Agnetha.